Hey guys, Deathdealer here, welcome back to another episode on the AutoCraft server. So, since last time, we've made some diamonds because someone has ordered a villager breeder. That someone being Westside Iron, so he wants 5 breeding pairs for 10 diamonds. Now we've also got another purchase by Lego Flame, who is one of the new members. He's left me his payment over at his base. Now, we've got the diamond sales, so they want this stuff done soon. But I'm kind of a little bit busy this week, I'm starting back at university, so yeah, that's fun. So what we're going to do is, next episode we're going to work through all of the orders for this shop. We've also made some diamonds over in the beacon shop, which is quite nice. But yeah, today we're going to be doing some more villager things, so we can't really have a villager shop if we can't produce a massive amount of villagers ourselves. Like, yeah, we've got the villager breeder over at the base, but we need something a little bit more substantial. Now, when I say substantial, I don't mean 1 breeding pair or 2 breeding pairs like we have here. For this villager breeder we're going to be constructing today, we're going to be going with 14 breeding pairs. That is a lot of villagers, and it's going to produce a lot of villagers per hour. We're also going to need a mega crop farm, so similar to the crop farm we built if we just head on up here, similar to that one over there in the distance, but we're going to need a lot more layers for that. And that should provide us with more than enough crops for breeding these guys. Now also, you was noticing something a little bit strange compared to last time. My levels are a lot lower because I've been working on something off camera. So in between episodes I've been working in the nether for another project. Now I enchanted, let's just say I did some villager trading to get a bunch of pickaxes. I then enchanted a lot of pickaxes which use like 200 levels because I have been manually mining out a perimeter in the nether right here. So we're over at the skeleton farm, so let me just land, and I've mined out quite a large portion of this thing already. So you can see where the straight walls are, that's how much I've mined out. If we pop into spectator mode real quick, we can see this a little bit better. All that flowing lava down there, that used to be parts of the actual nether fortress and bits of the ground that were there. So I've removed those. And yeah, it's just making this area a lot better. Now, we don't necessarily need to remove the soul sand valley, that's not the main issue here. The main issue is the basalt delta. That's where lots of magma cubes and stuff are spawning, which really isn't nice. But yeah, like, we don't even need a perimeter for this skeleton farm design, but I am going to be working on something brand new at some point, so we're going to need a perimeter for that. So yeah, that's what I've been working on in between episodes, and if we just pop up here real quick, you can see the dimensions of this thing. And yeah, it is quite large. Anyways, let's hop into a testing world because I want to show off the villager breed that we're going to be using, along with explaining its underlying mechanics. Alright, so here we are in the testing world where I've been messing about with different villager breeder designs. So we've got the villager breeder design I came up with on my own, and I did a tutorial on back in, I think it was like July, yeah, it was something like that. And yeah, this breeder is great, but the one thing I always disliked about it was the fact that it took up 3 blocks of space for each breeding pair. Well, the actual holding cell for the pair, and then obviously the beds and things. So I've been working to try and compact this design overall. Now, I know it's been possible for quite a while. It's been done in many different breeder designs. Like that one over there, that breeder design is by AutoCraft. He's a small YouTuber I just started watching. I'll leave a link to the tutorial and the video he did in the description below. And that breeder works great. I've done a lot of testing with it, and I wanted to do something similar but on my own. Now, I started experimenting with compacting the villagers into 1x1 holding cells, and here is one of them right here, and that meant that I can compact a breeder of that size down into a much smaller space, which was quite awesome. Now, here is that same breeder thing again, the single slice with each of the beds. Basically what happens here is when villagers are standing on top of trapdoors, the way they throw food is a little bit different, which is quite nice. Now, another thing about this design here is basically sometimes when the food was thrown in the AutoCraft design, the food could go down into the system. Now that happened very rarely, but it still happened every so often. And not only that, these trapdoors actually help the villagers pick up food, which means they can have more successful breeding attempts. Now each villager pair can produce a theoretical maximum of 7 villagers per hour in the overworld. I don't know exactly how it works in the end, because I'm not personally going to be doing my design in the end because we reset areas of our end fairly frequently. Now, since we're going with a 14 cell design, multiply that by 7 and we should get a theoretical maximum of 98 villagers per hour. We won't be getting that though, however, because obviously there's a little bit of RNG to this thing. So basically, comparing my breeder design, which we'll look at in a moment, to the JCraft design, the JCraft design for me worked at maybe about 84 to 87% efficiency. It's been a while since I tested that, but I think that's the numbers. Now, I think this works better in the end, so make sure you go and watch that video for the full explanation. But in the overworld, mine works at about 91 to 94% efficiency. It varies, but yeah, that is that. So this is the design we went for. It's very similar to the JCraft design. I just went with a different layout for the beds, you know, just kind of make this a little bit shorter. Use the cells we used over there. In fact, if we just pop them over to these ones, as you can see, the trapdoor layout is quite a little bit different. And also these water streams are here, whereas I don't have those in my design because I just feel that the baby villagers just spend too much time up here and they can walk about and stuff like that. So yeah, our baby villagers, when they spawn, they'll walk off towards the beds and they'll fall down here. Now there is a remote chance they'll walk on top of these trapdoors that are right here, because there is a ledge. If we just look at that, there you see, there's a ledge, but they will eventually walk off of that and into the water streams, which is quite nice. They'll then go down this system and behold here until they become an adult. When they become adult villagers, they'll glitch through this block and then get pushed in and over up into the adult collection system, which is all the way up here. In order to feed these guys, you're going to need to use a bit of redstone. So we're going to use the same dropper layout that JCraft used in their design. Because basically what you need to do is you need to make sure the food is being offset when it's being dropped in, because some villagers can be greedy and pick up lots of stuff. That's what I found in my testing, and JCraft also confirmed that. So here we have it, that's the food system. Here is the minecart, simple minecart unloader with a bunch of chests which will store the food. Now obviously this is going to require a hell of a lot of food, so you've got to make sure you've got a mega crop farm or something like that. But yeah, without further ado, let's head back onto the AutoCraft server, gather all the materials we need, find a decent area for this thing, and then we can start building it, which is going to be, let's just say it's going to be quite an interesting process. Alright, so after quite a bit of resource collection, we have not one, but 2 shulkers full of materials. I need to tidy up my inventory as well, that's a lot of stuff. But yeah, basically what we need to do now is we need to find a decent location for this thing. Now I was planning on having an iron farm, or should I say 4 iron farms placed around this, but what I might do is instead is clear a perimeter and then build a mega iron farm instead, and that will be like a separate project. So this thing, basically it's going to be a villager production area and then villager trading, because I need to do a lot of trading. I know Splashes wants to do a thing with glass, so I'm going to avoid like glass trades and I'll leave that as her project, but I'll tackle all the other villager trading bits we want. So let's take our materials. That's our bone thing. I need to tidy up this area as well. Let's take these materials, go and find a secluded area of the server, and we can start working on this breeder. Alright, so I've been giving it some thought as to where I wanted to place this villager trading area. I wanted it secluded, and I wanted an area that was easy to work with. So logically we go with the plains biome because it's fairly flat, or flattish, and there's not really much in the area. So we're over next to the witch farm. I still need to take down the world eater, and I got a map, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a little border marking out the area on the edge of the map, like you see right there. If I take this out of my thing, we're going to put a border right around this using wheel. So let's go and collect that and mark this area out, and then we can start work. Alright, so as you can see by looking at the map, the border is in place. Let's go and take a little flight, and there we have it. Obviously we can't see the other side because of the server render distance, but yeah, the border is in place. Now in the future I'm probably going to level all this area out and then replace the grass with like stone, or maybe like a stone and a gravel mixture, just to make it look good. But yeah, this is quite the massive area. So what we're going to do is in the middle, that's where the villager breeder's going to do. Gonna go. And I think we should do that in the form of a quick third person time lapse. And with that, the villager breeder is complete. I fed this thing with 7 shulkers. That's right, 7 shulkers of carrots we got from the carrot farm back at base, and produced a lot of villagers, as we can see up here. In terms of the size of this place, it's not actually that bad. It only takes up a small part of this area. But you know what? I am quite happy with it. Just look at all these guys, all these villagers. This is awesome. I hope you liked the way I did the replay footage with me flying off camera right at the end. It was really interesting. But yeah, my plans for these villagers is we're going to be building a super duper mega iron farm at some point. We're going to be doing a hell of a lot of villager trading, and we're probably going to use some of these guys for a mega crop farm, because I don't want to be constantly running back to my base, well, my starter base that is, collecting the food and then bringing it over here and putting it in this chest system. So yeah, we are going to be doing that at some point in the near future. Alright, so we're over at the raid farm, well, the newest raid farm, the overpowered one, because I've been doing a lot of work over here. I've been fixing the sorting and shulker loading system, along with these evokers. So let's look at the evokers first, and then we can look at that system down there, because it's changed massively. So these guys, they used to be sitting on top of a rail. Oh, ow, don't get close. I removed it by basically pushing the blocks, and then it broke the rail, because, let's go into spectator mode right now, they were sitting at just the right height where they could attack these iron golems, and they kept on dying. So, you know, I wasn't happy with that. We made a few changes, and now it's working quite effectively. Fun fact, if you place a block right below these walls, the Vexes won't spawn in the boats, they'll spawn there, and then they can still attack that iron golem. I left a few blocks when I was doing this, and that happened. So yeah, make sure if you're using this farm design, that doesn't happen. We need to remove that fire over there as well, and we still have our little zombie friend down there. The sorting system itself has changed quite a bit. So we have an impulse SV sorter right here. Obviously it's just a simple 1 times hopper speed item sorter thing. We've got a lot of hoppers, a lot of hopper lines and many different things. Now down here we have the new shulker loaders, which I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I will be AFKing at this farm for an hour to see how this performs with the new changes. But yeah, shulker loader, it's like a block loader, it's a bit more bulky than the previous one. I'll leave a link to the video of where I got this design in the description, because it isn't mine. I can't remember the name of the person who made it, but make sure you check the description for that stuff. Then what we had is we dropped items into water streams, and then we send them into the storage system. Now the shulker box sorter we had before also was basically, it was susceptible to server lag, so if the server lagged a bit when the shulkers were being sorted, the thing would break. So what we've done instead is we've just went for simple hopper lines. So we've kept the order just the same right here. This hopper line is for all the emerald things, and all the emeralds are on this side. So we've just used water streams, and then we condense them down into that one hopper line. Now fortunately the full, what do you call them, shulkers only come through here every so often, so we shouldn't really need to worry about things despawning or causing a lot of lag with hoppers. But to be fair, I've placed a lot of composters, so that really shouldn't be an issue. With the other things, that was a little bit more difficult since they were on the opposite side, so we've had to, you know, snake them around this system. We made the shulker box crafter storage a bit shorter, and there we have it. There's all the different hopper lines. So next steps is I've already filled that thing back up, and we still have a lot of shulkers in storage from when I took them out of the previous system, so we're just going to keep those as spares. Now I think the way I've got this is I've got 5 shulkers in each system plus the 1 shulker that's currently placed, so 6 shulkers in each thing. With the way this will work, we'll go through the emerald ones first, and we should still have plenty of the other ones for more subsequent, you know, AFK sessions. So what I need to do now is I need to go and get, the bad omen effect. We can then use this farm for like an hour or so, and we can see if the new system is working as it should. Alright, so let's just say that was a very successful AFK session. So AFK for 1 hour, we now have 178 levels, which is quite nice, and this storage system works perfectly. We got 18 shulker boxes of emeralds. We're going to come back to that in just a moment with that number. I think this is just the same as last time. That should also be the same. Yeah, we'll just fly on through these. So yeah, there we go. We have lots of materials. Now I do think there's an almost full shulker up in the redstone sorter, which is quite nice. But yeah, in terms of the emeralds, We have 18 shulkers right there, and we've also got emeralds over here, because if we pop into spectator mode real quick, something is going to look quite interesting. So you can see right around here, these guys are empty, so they ran out of shulkers. That's because they get the most emeralds coming through the system. So most of the emeralds, the vast majority, will be picked up here. That's why they used all of their, shulkers as quickly. The other ones, so let's just go and take a look in this one. This one is partially full. This one is also partially full. And then these last three have absolutely nothing in them. And if we look down here, I think it's in these ones, there you go, 5 shulkers, 5 shulkers, and okay, 4 shulkers. So this one has actually been used. Let's just go and look at that one, if I can do it. Yeah, okay, so these last 3 shulkers are completely unnecessary for emeralds. We're going to keep them in. We're going to keep them here because this is a little bit RNG based with how much emeralds you get. Now, based on the emeralds that were automatically sorted properly and didn't end up just, getting spat out here like what happened with a lot of them. I think a lot of them despawned when that happened. We got, I think, let me see, I've got the calculator up here, 279,936 emeralds, plus 3 shulker boxes of emeralds on top of that, which is quite nice. So, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to put these emeralds into shulkers. We still have quite a lot here. I'm going to reload the system, and then over the next few days I'm going to do some more AFKing. So let's get these 3 guys placed. There we go, and I have an axe that I can dump. There we go, awesome. And I'm also going to craft up these emeralds into emerald blocks. Alright, so we got those emeralds crafted up, and now we have 2 shulker boxes of emerald blocks. We also have an additional shulker box, which is partially full. I've been using this for a little while for my own needs. Now, I was thinking of combining it with the supplies we have over here, so the other 3, but obviously that wouldn't even fill up this shulker box. I'd probably need a 4th shulker of emeralds to fill this thing up. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the last clip was this system runs similar to the old shulker box system, where we have to fully load. Well, I don't know if we exactly have to fully load the droppers here, but they get loaded and then they keep their inventory. So there's probably at least a shulker or 2 worth of emeralds still in this system right here. Also, another thing I noticed, the iron golems are still intact, which means the modifications we made to this system worked perfectly. Alright guys, so we made a decent amount of progress today. We got this mega villager breeder up and running. We have a ton of villagers up there, and we finished fixing the storage system for the raid farm, so we can use that without trouble. Next time we're going to be working with the villagers. We're going to be building the the breeder for iron, and we're also going to be doing a breeder for Lego Flame, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, you may notice my tools are a little bit worse for wear in some cases. I just repaired them actually, funnily enough, so they're not. Yeah, let's just say, make sure you watch Rustic's next episode, because we're working on a bit of a mega project. I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode of the AutoCraft so far. Make sure you go and watch everyone else on the server. On the left hand screen right now, there are 2 videos, one that YouTube wants you to watch and one that I think you should watch. Make sure you go and watch them, and remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hopefully you will enjoy the videos.